Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, with his special guest this Monday morning, Mr. Dion from Dion Talk. How you doing, sir?
Howdy, everybody. Ready for round 3.
Absolutely, man. So I got this topic from the one and only Brandon Turner, the bearded Brandon on Instagram, I believe. He talked about what he has learned from millionaires. I thought that was an interesting topic. So I thought you and I would bat that around. Dion, why don't you we'll play tennis. So why don't you go first? Something you've learned from millionaires over the last decade or so.
The main thing that I've learned from the millionaires that I know is that there's no one right way to do it, but there's a one right way for you.
Yes.
If I did what the millionaires that I know did, I would have went bankrupt.
Oh, I love that. Tell us more.
So my brother used a home equity line of credit to buy mobile homes on acreage in the middle of nowhere, and then he would use his craftsman skills to build it into a rental property while running a business. So he ran a tree service, and then he would take the money and pay off the home equity line of credit, rinse and repeat. I didn't have a line of credit. I didn't have equity in my house. I do not have the skill set to work on the rentals, and I don't have the ability. I'm not an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
I'm just not. I couldn't have run a business like him and grown a tree service. I'm a great employee. I work at a truck driving school, and I grew it from 6 staff to 60 because I was working for someone else.
Yeah.
If I was doing it for myself, I would have got to what was comfortable and probably stopped. I have a friend who has 30 paid off rentals, and he was a real estate agent. He was my mentor when I got into this. I thought, I need a mentor. I know an agent. He's got rentals. Who could be a better mentor? He had never house hacked, and he had never bought small multifamily. Had I purchased the first 2 places that he had me make offers on, it would have tanked me. They would have been alligators from day one, worse than alligators, because even when I moved out and wasn't house hacking, would have lost money.
Oh,
so there is no one right way. That your situation is unique. That's what I've learned from the millionaires that I know. I've learned to surround myself with Michael Zuber, Matt the Lumberjack Landlord, the people who put out content that have done things that challenge me and push my envelope. But you're not saying you have to do it my way. You say, learn your market, learn what's average in there, and get a better deal than that. And that might be single family. It might be storage. It might be commercial. What is working in your market? That's what I've learned.
Yeah. So I'm very lucky because of this channel. I now speak with 8 multimillionaires every week. And what I've learned from them over hundreds of hours, I have playlists, folks. If you don't know by now, I have playlists with Dion or Matt or Anna or Greg or Jonathan or whoever you want. They're go look at them, hundreds of hours. What I've learned from them is everyone focused on one area for longer than most people would expect. Right? Yes, they're doing amazing things now, and you hear about Anna doing beachfront property, and she's doing syndication and doing all these amazing things. But she was just a one rental at a time person until she got to the finish line. What I would tell most of you watching this, the multimillionaires, again, I call it focus and daily discipline. They did the same thing, right? They focused on their area, their lane for longer than you expect. I hope you hear that. And then, yes, they talk about multiple streams of income and all this other nonsense. It does happen, right? I've created other multiple streams of income that I didn't have no idea that was possible. That is amazing now. But for 15 years, it was 20 minutes a day, one city, buy and hold. Then I flipped 56 flips, made a bunch of money. Then I did this, then I did that. But it is all built on one leg. I'm shocked at how similar we all are.
And now we're doing the tennis thing, right?
Yep, your turn.
Court.
Yes.
Okay. The millionaires that I know talk about having goals. You know, and we talk about, what is it? We overestimate what we can do in a year, underestimate what we can do in 5 years. Yeah. Most of the millionaires that I interact with read or listen to a lot of books. So almost every single one of them can tell you about the 10,000 hour rule.
Yep.
But a lot of people haven't quantified this with their job. Most people work in an industry for a long enough period of time that it becomes second nature, and you're just really good at what you do. Driving a truck, after 5 to 10 years, you just drive a truck. I teach people how to drive a truck. To me, it's just driving. To them, it's this terrifying day with 80,000 pounds on the freeway for the first time. I get that. Right? So let's look at it for work. 10,000 hours to master any one skill. If we work a 40-hour week, that's 2,080 hours a year. So in 5 years, you've mastered the skill of your job. It took you 5 years working 40 hours a week to become a master at your job.
Mhm.
Investing is the same way. Those first 5 years suck because
Yeah.
we don't have the confidence to know the strategy we're using is going to work. We don't have the patience because we want it now and we know it's going to take longer. But in those 5 years, like you said, we focused on one leg. We learned that one asset class that we're investing in. We learned the strategies and tactics, and I'll probably get this wrong because I love my memory.
Mhm.
But when it comes to strategies and tactics, you have to learn a strategy. You have to focus on, this is what I'm trying to do. Buy and hold, burr, flip, wholesale, investment, stocks, grow a business, whatever your strategy is, you need the tactics that goes along with it. So when you pick that leg and you're learning your strategy, then you have, how do I do buy and hold? How do I find the properties? How do I make offers? How do I screen tenants? How do I find all the little tactics that go into the strategy of buy and hold investing?
Mhm.
The Art of War, the book by Sun Tzu,
Mhm.
he says, strategy without tactics is the slowest path to victory.
Oh, wow.
Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. So you can get really good at screening tenants, but if you don't have a rental, you're never going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
You can buy a rental, but if you never learn how to screen tenants, you're going to tank.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I've picked up from the Millionaires is you focus on that one thing, you're really not going to see results for 5 years. If you
Yeah.
worked at it 40 hours a week, most of us are not doing 40 hours a week on our side hustle.
No.
So don't expect the results in those first 5 years. For me, it was about 8 years when I was like, wow, I could walk away from my job.
Isn't that cool?
today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For me, one that I just come to appreciate, it's actually rule number 7 on my ORAT rules. It's audit your personal network and basically ask yourself, are they helping or hurting you? Because what I've seen over time, and I've now changed my personal network 3 or 4 times in 20 some odd years. Lots of you have people that I call are battery drainers, right? You bring them the buy and hold, and all they want to talk about is the 08 crash. You want to talk about investing in stocks, and they bring up the .com era. I mean, there are some people you bring your energy, your positivity to, and by the time you leave, you have to take a nap. They just wore you out. Get around people that are positive, keep your circle small, share and move on. And if you have family members that are negative, just do the minimum. Don't talk about your dreams and vision, because I get it, right? I have somebody in my family I will not talk about money with. It is just excruciating because we just see it differently. And it's like, we're just not going, and if we go there, I'm going to change the subject or I'm going to get up and leave because it's heavy. I don't enjoy it. And yeah, you've got to trim, you got to change, you got to move on, you got to grow your personal network. It is so important. Real estate investing or investing of any kind, like you said, the first 5 years is hard enough. You don't need to carry somebody else's baggage with you. Discard, cut them off, move on. Yeah, it's so important.
Every time I see your rule number 7, I'm reminded of the phrase, you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you.
Exactly. I love it.
I like the way you put it. You don't cut your family member out of your life.
Mhm.
You just change the topic when that subject comes up, or you don't bring it up.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. One more.
One more.
Yeah.
So in this one, I'm going to get backwards.
Okay.
Most, and this is a perception thing, most of the millionaires that I know are pretty frugal. Yeah. My brother, while he does travel, he's got 10 paid off rentals and he's been retired for 7 years now. He retired at 50 and we went to Colombia and Thailand. He's got side-by-sides and Sea-Doos and quads and he's traveling all the time, right? But he lives in a mobile home in the middle of nowhere. His house is not what you would expect from, he's a multimillionaire. His property values are over to at least in the $2 or $3 million range.
Wow.
He enjoys life and the house didn't matter for him. My friend with 30 rental units is the most frugal. I mean, we'll go to a restaurant. I've seen him get appetizers. Like,
Yeah.
he's not going to spend money at a restaurant. I can make this at home. It's cheaper.
Yeah. I love that. That's funny.
So I learned in the first few years, if you want to live like them, then live like them now. Be frugal in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's just as hard to learn how to spend money as it is to save money. And I'm at the point right now where I've been looking at the numbers of what is the cash flow. because I've never really known, because I just live my life, and all of the cash flow that's beyond what it takes me to live the life I want is reinvested.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when the $13,000-ish money coming in? It's like 11.9 right now, but Finder Strategy is kicking in 2 months on
Nice.
so like $13,000 a month coming in that right now is just going into an investment fund. What am I going to do?
That's amazing.
To spend $13,000 a month now that I haven't been? Like, that's going to be a hard transition from that. I live this way, right? I save exactly this much for the next vehicle. I'm going to pay cash, so I don't have a car payment. I house hack. I'm being paid to live where I am.
And I want to be clear, you still house hack.
I still house hack, right? Correct. So that was the thing. I learned that from the Millionaires. If you want to live the millionaire life, then look at what they're doing. You know, my brother doesn't have the big, huge house. Technically he's house hacking because he has an ADU that's paid off. So that ADU is all profit. It's one of his 10 rentals, right?
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing. Live that way now. And it's going to be a hard transition to, I'm actually going to spend some of this money.
Yeah.
That'll be weird.
Yeah. The last one I'm going to go to is one that I'm particularly weak at, but I'm trying to get better. And actually I've added to the office, and I'll start showing it once I start putting pictures up, is a vision board, right? This is something that you sent me, which was a very nice gift, right? Is it on this side? Oh, I got the one with the 3 dots.
Yeah, I got you the better one.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's really cool. But anyways, a vision board, right? For 30 years of my life, I have been quota driven, right? I had a commission job at 13 years old selling maintenance agreements at Sears and Roebuck for hardware tools, then washers and dryers, and then all of this. So I've always needed, I guess it's the stick, right? Because it's always the fear of being fired, right? Because I've lived in, if you don't hit your commission, you get a warning and then fired. It's that, and I've seen people get fired. And so I've always needed that. I, as we know, left at 45 on a spur of a moment. And I haven't had, it's really weird, right? I feel like I don't have that thing I'm chasing anymore, right? And that's from a guy who does, 5 videos a day for multiple years now, daily finding. It's sometimes it's really crazy in my head, but I'm trying to get this idea of a vision board, and I'm going to try to divide it up into 4 quadrants, right? What's the vision board for Olivia and I? What's the vision board for the brand? What's the vision board for the community, right? So I'm trying to figure it out, but I know there's something in a vision board because it'll be something I could chase and look at. It'll be in my hallway. I'm going to see it every day I come in and every day that I leave, and I'm going to share it with the audience. I need something. I need that carrot. I need something to chase, but it's still hard for me. It's like, what the hell is going to go on the vision board? But yeah, this was very helpful. Thank you.
Can I take a couple minutes and explain?
Please.
To everybody watching, going, why are they holding up leather books, right?
Yeah.
So a vision board would be great. I am kind of transient. I like to move around with my job. I house hack so that I'm not spending money where I live, so I can go anywhere. If I rented an Airbnb for a month anywhere in the country, that would be like my housing expense for the month, because I just don't have one.
Right.
So I don't have a vision board, but I have something I could take with me. This is a vision book.
Okay.
So it's also how I run my business as far as real estate goes.
Okay.
Each property in this book gets 10 pages. So that's a duplex.
Yeah.
It was my first house hack.
Yeah.
Up here at the top, it'll have the loan number, who it was originally with, what the payment was, who carries the insurance, when the appliances were replaced, the year I did the roof, whatever is going to happen. I do these coded books, so I put the book in here so I can actually just look it up and say, okay, this is the code to change the codes to the thing.
Yep.
Literally everything I need for my business is in here, right? Each property gets 10 pages.
Nice.
There's a lot of 10 pages. My goal is to fill the vision book, right? Don't know that I ever will, but it's a goal to keep working at.
You will.
And I could take it with me. It's a good conversation starter. They go, how do you run a business? I go, I got a journal.
Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, I am, this is a behavior that I do not have. It is a trait that multimillionaires have taught me is important. I mean, there are people that I've met over the last 6 or 7 years that really were like you with nothing, that are in amazing positions. And they give all credit to the power of this. So I am trying to add this to my personal story. So yeah, it's
Beautiful.
yeah. So stay right there. You're going to get written in. Oh man, this is fun. Thank you very much for that too. I've said it privately, but now it's recorded. So thank you for
Awesome.
sending it over. Dion, how can people find you?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom. I try to make videos to answer common questions. On Tuesdays, I do a live stream, so please bring your questions so I know what videos to make.
Very cool. Dion, thank you very much for stepping in Monday. Greatly appreciated. All of these will be loaded today.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Ciao.